Hey, everybody, welcome to the Love County Coaches Show. This thing brought to you by American Nation Bank, Arbuckle Title and Abstract, Sam Barrick, your Farm Bureau agent, Marietta Monitor, Quality Printing and Design, the 20 MSP. This is not our last show of the year. It's our second to last, I do believe, and then I think we'll go into playoff time, the Love County Coaches Show. And first and foremost, the head coach, athletic director of the Marietta Indians, Coach Dobie, is with me. Coach, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Kind of weird. We had to push games up. Was supposed to be some weather this afternoon, I think, maybe something like that. You never know with Oklahoma. It's one of those things. It's very unpredictable. Could have been a tornado today. So I mean,
but OSSA sent out that warning, and
yeah. So explain that to everybody, because I think there's a lot of misconception there that was just a. Hey, Coach Dobie decided to move our game, homecoming, stuff like that.
I definitely didn't make that choice.
Not lightly.
They sent out the email. There was a pretty severe threat, and you know how the weather is. I was looking at it on Wednesday, and it's showing 98% chance, and I'm looking at it tomorrow, going, oh goodness, it's showing 50. Now it rained today about lunch, and we may not get another thing. So it was one of those things with the homecoming coming on, and I could give a shout out right now to Miss Becky Jones. She ran that thing and bumped everything. Every mom, including my wife, my daughter, was actually on the homecoming court. They had to organize hair and nails and makeup, and
I commented parades. That on somebody's post today.
God bless them. They did such a great job.
They pulled it off. I mean, with such short notice, and it didn't feel like it wasn't supposed to be the night of the game.
Miss Jones was a miracle worker. Then I've got Miss Misty Kirk. Her two boys are juniors.
That's who I commented on.
She is the top parent I've ever been around. I mean, we have some great parents, but she organizes. I mean, I knew we were going to play and we were going to have the parade, and I mean, within 6 hours, she had sandwiches and chips for all those kids ready, because they weren't going to be able to get a meal after school.
Right.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
And all that homecoming stuff's way over my head and out of my comfort zone. Miss Jones just knocked it out of the park, and everybody that helped her. I know that it takes a village to do that, and we got it in, and it's one of them things. If I'm looking at whatever amount of money my wife spent on the homecoming dress for my daughter and all that, and makeup and hair, and I'm looking at that weather and I'm going, okay.
You guys already had to take a pump to the field.
We did. We had a sub pump out there. We pumped out probably who knows how much water off the sidelines and stuff. But
you didn't.
I just could imagine standing there tonight and thunderstorms going on. The game's delayed, plus all them young ladies' dresses are ruined. And I knew. I mean, yesterday couldn't have been a better weather. It was as good as.
That's what I was about to say. So, it was a perfect night.
Right.
I actually opened the window of the press box. That's not normal.
No. It's really starting to feel like football weather.
Yeah, for sure. And then also glad, that didn't happen. Then you had to bring everybody back for Saturday morning or something like that.
Right.
It was great stuff. Homecoming didn't go necessarily how you guys wanted to. It's just been kind of the scoria of the year. You just haven't been able to get things going offensively. Some of these games, final score 52-0.
Yeah.
With Holdenville coming in. Not somebody that you guys are going to have to play in the future, I don't think.
No.
But and somebody that you guys have only played for 2 years, so not really somebody that you guys are super used to. But talk to me about the game. Let's break that down just a little bit. You went with Kaysen Lott.
Yeah.
So talk to me about him, his progression.
He's just proven without a doubt he's tough.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tough kid. I mean, we're moving into we've been transitioning with him for about 5 weeks now, and we've kind of really starting to get the basics of this thing. But at some point, it's going to become triple option. And right now, he's getting just confused. I mean, we're trying to run just a fullback zone dive, and he's reading it when you're not supposed to just give the fullback the ball, you know. And he's going to be pretty good at it, especially being a freshman. And I think he just turned 14 years old. And we don't have anybody better to teach it than Clay Atwood. He ran the show at Ardmore for 4 years, made it to the semis twice, and then played college ball and did it before he also played 4 years of baseball, And I've already seen I've seen this thing installed before from the ground up,
Mm-hmm.
and there are parts of it that our kids are picking up extremely fast. You're going, okay, goodness. So you start thinking, can we go ahead and do this? No. So we're having to take baby steps with it. And at the end of the day, where we're at is we have an extremely young line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I mean, we've got some kids that are starting to move some weight, but, it's the sheer violence of a 17 and 18-year-old versus a 13, 14-year-old.
Right.
And we started 4 freshmen on the O-line last night. And then, we got a couple of juniors that hadn't played. And
Yeah.
they're rotating through playing a little bit too. So
Mm-hmm.
as a coaching staff, that's what's keeping us,
Mm-hmm.
where we're not just complete despair or depression, because we know what, all of it's coming back. We're losing a few players, but the whole thing's coming back, and it's within the shell that we have, where it's all young, and they'll all be sophomores and juniors next year instead
Mm-hmm.
of freshmen, sophomores.
It
So,
seems like this system that you guys kind of
mhm,
implemented a couple of weeks ago really has, uh, I guess, resonated with them a little bit better. It seems like, you guys were putting together. There was one particular drive that you guys had put together, um, a nice run that was
mhm,
called back. So
right.
it just seems like, one thing goes your way, two things go wrong, type thing on the same play.
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
you
and
you know
that's
what I
that's
mean?
been a young team.
Yeah.
Freshman had a block in the back,
Right.
and just
Exactly.
understanding if the ball's 20 yards ahead of you, how about you? This one time you have permission to shut it down and just kind of jog down and get ready for the PAT.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I hope people don't think I'm numb to it. I'm extremely
No.
frustrated,
Sure.
with the way it's going. But these kids, they are playing hard still
Yeah.
for the most part. We're having lulls, and I get it. I mean, most freshmen are already transitioned to basketball or just now joining the varsity team.
Yeah.
And programs that have been rolling, and that's with the numbers we have. That's what it's going to look like over the next couple of years. Freshmen
Sure.
are going to get to play their junior high games and then choose whether they play up for the rest of the season or go on the basketball or track.
Sure.
And right now these kids have been grinding since June as
Mhm.
13, 14-year-olds, and
Yeah.
it's going to pay off.
It's a lot to ask
We
for out of.
spoke about a team we coached in 18 that went to the state championship at Ardmore, and they started as freshmen,
Yeah.
and they had to learn the hard way, and learned what preparation looks like in the summer, what it looks like in the off season. I mean,
Mhm.
that's where you really win. It's not rolling out of bed August 9th and saying, all right, we're going to be a good football team.
Right.
No, you got to build it. So, I mean, we're hanging our hat on that. We've already got our 2024 calendar put together.
Yeah.
We've already got workouts, whatever's going to go down, and what we're going to do in terms of offense during the hour and defense. So, but you nailed it. Defensively, I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah.
And I want to move forward. I want to be a physical offense.
Mhm.
And our kids understood, like, we were throwing the ball and it was open. It wasn't the scheme. It's open. But when you drop it, now you're sitting at 2nd and 10. It's like all the air goes out of your cells. Where here, you're just they understand that this offense is going to be a first quarter. You're trying to manage some first downs. Second
Mhm.
quarter, you're going to start getting first downs, and then physically they're going to have to keep matching it. In third and fourth, you wear them down, and then big plays start popping off. So,
Well, and once an offense like this resonates, the more air raid style offense against a team like Kingston, where
mhm.
the goal is going to be keep the ball away.
Right, right,
Um, in something like this, if this clicks, that could go your way
yeah.
against a team that
Well,
necessarily that you guys aren't supposed to be, or
we've
something
put
like that.
this in the last 2 games, and
Yeah.
last night we gave up 52 points. 21 of them were on special teams.
Right.
I mean, defensively, until we get later in the second half where they start getting outside on us, I mean, we actually weren't in terrible shape on defense.
Right.
And it's one of those things, like, you can minimize the possessions. That's going
Mhm.
to be very important, and you can shorten the game. And, it's not going to be one of those where if you're down 21,
Mhm.
28 points, it's not a comeback offense. I mean, there's going to be
Right.
some plays you can put in there, but a flexible and triple option team is going to be able to control the ball
Right.
and execute. And my favorite thing about it is it's a selfless offense. Like, it's not one person. I mean, the fullback's going to be extremely important, the quarterback, but those slots, they've got to block for each other as much as they want the ball. They got to block. Receivers got to block first, and then worry about whether we throw them 3 or 4 passes
Right.
every other game. You know.
So let's talk about Kingston. That's going to be your senior night next week. Just kind of preview that. I know we'll have another coaches show, but that is your next game.
Right.
So let's talk about it just a little bit. I don't think they did play last night, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
They played
Yeah.
Douglas.
No, Lexington.
Lexington.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They
I don't know
beat
why I said
Lexington last
Douglas.
night 42-0.
Yeah.
They've got their whole line return from last year, and that
Mhm.
team was pretty good. But now they're going from juniors to senior O-linemen, and they can pretty much run whatever they want on offense. They're a spread kind of power, or
Mhm.
they're a spread stretch.
Mhm.
I mean, the quarterback's a heck of a ball player. Defensively, we're going to have to stay in structure, and I hope I don't jinx this. Atoka had a couple of kids that could really run, and they're the ones that tested us, and our technique has dramatically improved since week 5 or week 4 at corner. And so if they're trying to throw the rock, I hope we're going to be in better positions than we were that week. And then linebacker-wise, we'll be able to fit it a little better. The offense we saw last night inserts 5, 6 moving parts every time the ball snapped. And so it was one of those where you got to press it as soon as you can. And this next week we'll be in more structure. And then offensively, I mean, we're going to look to build on it and try to keep getting better, and already looking almost to the spring and trying to get the whole team's young.
Yeah.
So the way we practice is, all right, this has got to carry over. And it has for the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's gotten progressively better. It just comes down to our freshman center can't handle maybe a senior nose yet.
Yeah.
And he will. And he gives it everything he has, and it's coming. But I've got to have another year in that weight room and him eating right and doing some stuff before it's going to be what we need it to be.
Absolutely. Hey, it's Coach Dobie, the head coach of the Marietta Indians. He'll be with us next week on the Coaches Show as we wrap up the Marietta Indians football season. They'll have Kingston, and I'm sure you'll have some more to talk about after you see some game film on them. So coming up next, we've got Mark Barrett, the head coach of the Thackerville Wildcats. Back in a minute.
$45 to everybody in district so far.
Well, you heard it from the man himself, Mark Barrett. You guys are 45 to everybody in district so far. That's a way to kick this off. The next segment.
I didn't know we were on the air yet. But
I said
anyway.
3, 2, 1. No, no, I didn't. Hey, Mark Barrett on the Love County Coaches Show. That's what we're doing, right? Yeah. Hey, this thing brought to you by the Marietta Monitor, Quality Printing and Design, American Nation Bank, the Arbuckle Title and Abstract, your Oklahoma Farm Bureau agent, Sam Barrick, and the 20 MSP. That's right. And so, Coach, last night you guys got another win, 66-20. Like you just said, you have 45 to everybody in district, and hey, that's a big deal. That's not something to take lightly. The only team I've ever known to do that was 2018. I covered the Tipton Tigers, and they did that.
Yeah.
And they went on to win the state championship. So, I mean,
well, hey, it's a good omen then.
yeah, exactly. So talk to me about last night. Who'd you guys play?
We had Paola. The Mighty Pugs came down.
It seems like that's kind of from that area that you're from a little bit, right? No?
Well, I spent a lot of years up there coaching. It's right outside of Wayne.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit south of Wayne. So
okay.
Wayne, Stratford, Maysville area.
So you're pretty familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, absolutely. So talk to me about the game. I mean, obviously, you guys gave up some points, but offensively, you guys were there.
Yeah, it was another good game for us. Another one of those games that we had to win, you know, to get that step to the district title, which we'll be playing for next week. But it was a good night for football last night. I'm like Coach Dobie said, I'm kind of glad we moved it with all the impending weather that was supposed to come in.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being a good
it was a beautiful night.
It was a beautiful night for football, and things just kind of went our way a little bit. And yeah, we gave up 2 or 3 touchdowns, and but the kids are kind of like, dadgummit, we let them score, we'll just go get another one. And so now we can score into the 60s, you know. So they like racking up those points.
Hey, so real quick, I mean, obviously, you guys have been great this year, but talk to me a little bit about, we haven't touched on, how long have you been at Thackerville now? What, 3 years now?
This is my 3rd year.
Yeah.
Yes, 3rd
Talk to me about the transition in school spirit and support around this team. It seems like this town, the kids that don't play, the sponsors, it seems like everybody's all in on this thing right now.
Yeah, there's been, you know, when I first got there 3 years ago, there was that school spirit, and we had, you know, the crowds and stuff, but they, you know, the old saying goes, winning cures a lot of problems.
Right.
So when you're winning, it's a lot easier for, you know, everybody to jump on that bandwagon and go with you. And I'm telling you, the community has been fantastic. Surrounding communities and you know, the support. You know,
she talked about it being. You said last night was a themed night. So what was it again?
It was whiteout. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a whiteout last night. It was senior night. So, you know, the seniors asked if they could wear white uniforms to go with the theme that the cheerleaders. And I said, hey, I don't have a problem. You know, we'll play in any color you guys want to, as long as we win the ball game.
Right.
And so, you know, they fed off of that, and it was a good night for us last night.
Absolutely. Talk to me about Justice Rodriguez. It kind of seems like that's pretty much the leader of this team right now.
Yeah, Justice is a great leader. He gets the guys motivated, and like I said before, he's actually another coach on the field.
Yeah.
He's been with this program so long, and with Hunter, you know, Coach McCage, he's been around him now, you know, since junior high, so he knows what Hunter's thinking before Hunter even calls the play, and which is great to have out there. And you know, if we call a play and it's not there or whatever, we've given him that green light to, you know, to audible. And like I said before, 98% of the time he's right. So it's a big plus having him on the field.
So you talked about you've gotten your district points, your 15, and next week the district title. Who do you guys play? I know we'll talk more about this next week on the Coaches Show, but I definitely want to talk about it now.
Yeah. We are going to Dustin, Oklahoma, which is about 8 miles from my hometown of Willeka. So, and playing for the district title.
Okay.
And the ironic thing about that is you got 2 former Willeka alumni being the head coach of each team, and we're going to battle it out for the district title. Sure. And it's going to make for a really good game. They're a power football team, and I know we don't get too much into them, but we 45'd them last year when they came to our place, and they've got everybody coming back, and they're going to be a big physical football team, and we're going to have to play ball, you know, to win that district title.
Compare this team to Mod.
Well, Mod actually beat them by 16.
Okay.
But I think it was because they only had 10 kids, and Mod just actually wore them down.
Mhm.
If they had a little more depth, I think it would have been a better ball game. But I got a fly here. Just
Yeah, I
buzzing all
know.
around
It
me.
was getting me earlier.
But again, it's it's one of those teams that we can't take lightly.
Sure.
I mean, they've got some big old line offensive linemen, and they got a couple of really good backs that we're going to have to really wrap up.
All right, so we'll talk more about that
Yeah.
next week on the Coaches Show. I did not tell you that I was going to ask you this, but I mean, it's not every day that you get to interview a celebrity movie star like yourself.
Oh, Lord.
And talk to me about that just a little bit. Brag just a little bit. There's a movie out right now that you may be in, something like that. Killers of the Flower Moon. So talk to me just a little bit about that. For those who don't know, that you do some acting on the side.
Yes,
okay.
I do.
So I'm sure Connor didn't even know that. So. Yeah, so you went and saw the movie, and you saw yourself in it, apparently,
yes,
right?
Yeah, you got me blushing here now a little bit. Right? Yeah, I've done 6 or 7 movies and got one on Netflix. Montford, the Chickasaw Rancher, that's still on. But yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon. I went up 2 years ago, I guess, and spent about 6 days filming probably 6 or 8 of the crowd scenes. And on those things, you never know how if you make the cutting room floor, if you actually make the picture, but. It was one of those deals you had to know where I was at and things like that because I was an extra and but I knew, so I spotted me a couple of times. But hey, it's a great movie. We're going to take our kids next week to see it. I teach a Native American history class and an English teacher. They've been reading it, so we're going to go take the kids and I told the kids, I said, I want you all to watch the movie for the movie, not trying to find me. Where's Waldo? But a great movie about an incident that happened in Oklahoma history that needed to be told. And, that's, I don't want to get off on that and my soapbox on that, but it's a great movie.
Sure, absolutely. So what got you into that? I mean, you're a football coach. You don't meet a lot of actors in your profession. So what got you into that? Was it just kind of an interest or what?
Well, this all started back when I was in junior high school. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I actually did major in drama.
Okay.
My freshman year, that's I had those dreams of I was a big John Wayne fan, so go to Hollywood and make movies and have my own TV series and all that, and then reality set in, and I was married with 2 kids, and that didn't happen. So, but no, that's just something I've dabbled in and really enjoy it, and I would like to maybe get in some more of that, but some of the behind the scenes, I learned how the directing, the different things like that. So,
that's awesome.
That's just a little passion I have besides coaching.
So I think all the Thackerville fans, they need to make a T-shirt with your face on it that says Love County John Wayne on it. There we go. Hey, thank you so much for joining me on the Love County Coaches Show. We'll see you next week. Okay. Congratulations to you guys on another great win. We will see you next week. I'll have Connor Choate with me. We'll have Coach Dobie again, as well as Coach Barrett, and I'm sure maybe we'll have some kiddos or something like that next week. So we'll, anything else you need out of me? All right. Thank you so much.